Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rebel Rewind, episode 50, man. My name's Christopher. We got Eric over here. Yeah, big 5-0, right?
Yeah, man, that's wild.
Yeah.
It seems like it's been 50 episodes so far.
No. But yeah, it's been a wild ride with the 50 episodes.
Wow. Soon enough it'll be 100.
I know. Pretty crazy. So how are things?
Everything is okay, man. Everything on your end.
Doing good. Still kind of slowly losing my voice a little bit.
Yeah.
I was losing my voice yesterday on our live stream yesterday too. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Hope you feel better, man.
But gonna power through it. Yeah. We'll power through it. Yeah. But yeah, May 4th, I didn't really pick anything up.
Same here, man. I mean, there was so much, like they were like dropping up a little bit. Part of the rapid fire news, some of the drops that they've been doing for May 4th, but so many good things. Commander Cody helmet and 212th helmet. I think that came out. So like I love helmets, so I kind of want to add some more to my collection, but I'm running out of space.
Yeah. Well, before we get into the rapid fire segment, what did you think of Andor last night?
Oh boy, right? Dude, that is something else, man.
Like, well, we can go more in depth.
Amazing.
We can go more in depth a little later.
Yeah,
dude, I thought it was the best 3 episodes.
For sure.
Yeah.
The total contrast for episode, and that's what I've noticed. Episode 1, 2, 3 was really slow.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6 was picking up
better.
Pace.
Yeah.
These 3 episodes.
Yeah. So like the last 3 are gonna be like full speed ahead, right?
Yeah. So the last one is next week, right?
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, 10, 11, 12.
And then we're done.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But let's do our rapid fire segment.
All right. So rapid fire segment. All right, for the rapid fire news today, Polish inventor Tomasz Patan has created something called the Volonaut air bike, a flying motorcycle that looks striking like the speeder bike. You can sit in and you can fly at the speeds of 125 miles per hour. Imagine. I would love that for Houston traffic.
That's crazy.
You can have your own droid counterpart with the special edition Star Wars cargo carry robot from Piaggio Fast Forward. It's equipped with an array of cameras, sensors that allow the droid to identify and follow its user while traversing your surroundings easily. I think thought that was pretty cool. Tales of the Underworld released on May 4th. Asajj ventures a former assassin pleads with a new ally while Cad Bane confronts his past when meeting an old friend turned marshal. Yeah.
What did you think of those?
I thought the story was slow, but they were really good stories. Really good stories. I enjoyed it.
I like the Cad Bane story better myself.
Yeah.
Like the Asajj Ventress one, it started strong with the first episode, but then the other 2 episodes kind of I expected more. So but I mean it's been like that for the last 2 seasons even as well. So Tales of the Empire, I think the Barriss Offee story was better than the Morgan Elsbeth, and then for Tales of the Jedi, I think the Dooku stuff was better than the Ahsoka stuff.
Yeah, Dooku was
Ahsoka
was okay, but this opens up the doors for more Asajj Ventress stuff, and she had talked about the actor, the voice actor talked about it, and then what's pretty cool is that she they were asking her if she would have loved to do a to do the live action. She said, I'd love to do that, but she had brought up another person's name. Do you remember?
I know. Yeah, I saw that. Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
Right.
That's perfect.
I think she's onto something. Right.
Yep. She's got the face structure and everything. All right. So lastly, May the 4th came and went, and so many new Black Series helmets. Like, for example, the Death Trooper helmet from Rogue One, 212th Clone Trooper helmet, Commander Cody helmet. Also, Droid Factory Star Speeder 1000 replica comes with the R2, D2, and C3PO figure, Black Series Luke Skywalker and Leia Shadow of the Empire 2-pack figure, all new TVC figures and Lego ships and Lego helmets. So that's it for the rapid fire segment for this evening. So, if you want to talk about any of these Legos, you said you're about some.
Yeah, Lego. I am gonna get the Lego eventually. Like I wanted to get it on May 4th, and I was like, you know what? No, I should wait. I got, like I mentioned before we went live, I got Niagara Falls Comic Con coming up at the end of the month, so I'm trying to be good there. So I'll get the Lego later.
Like, I mean, I do like the little figures. You can buy them at conventions for like $1, $2.
Yeah,
little figures, which is pretty cool.
But I do want to get the Star Wars logo, Lego set, and then I do want to get the brickheads. So
yeah, that's a slippery slope, my friend.
I know, man. I know. I'm dipping my toes in, but I'm slowly like submerging in the Lego waters, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So, but let's jump into our first story.
All right.
Which is about Benjamin Bratt, who was recast as Senator Bail Organa, replaced Jimmy Smits last week, and we saw more of him this week. Which last week, like I totally agree with what Tony Gilroy did. He spoke about bringing him in, getting the conversation out of the way, like replacing him, and then this week we saw more of him, and he actually had more to say, and now we can discuss like his acting in it and the character in it itself. So I think that was a good way of doing it. Was it as jarring this time seeing him?
No, I think when we got him the first time, like seeing him as a character, yes. But I think for me, I'm okay. This is Bail Organa. So I mean, his acting.
It still felt like Bail Organa, even though it's not Jimmy Smits. So, Benjamin Bratt had some stuff to say. So, Andor season 2 is playing out during the 4 years leading up to the events of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and A New Hope being set at that point in the galaxy's history opens a door for legacy characters to come back and make an appearance. So while the Disney Plus series doesn't feature any Jedi or Sith, Darth Vader doesn't appear, but Senator Bail Organa returned last week in the 6th episode, and then he comes back again. I think he was in all 3 episodes at some point this week. So, Jimmy Smits was replaced by Benjamin Bratt due to supposed scheduling issues, and I think you mentioned something last week that he might have some health issues too, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, so talking to StarWars.com via SFFGazette.com about taking over the role of Princess Leia's father, Bratt said, "I've always known Jimmy to be an incredibly talented actor. He possesses elegance, a natural grace, a goodness, really, and earnestness that this particular character requires. Now that he's excited to take a deeper dive into how Organa went from being a senator to one of the architects of the rebellion, he said, quote, we learned that he's a brilliant strategist and capable of bringing some heat to the degree that is needed," the actor teased. "That's what excited me and drew me into playing the character." He said, "I find the show's writing to be very spare, and yet it's incredibly elaborate," which you and I talked about a little bit before we went live. Like the writing in this show is just incredible. The acting is fantastic. It says exactly what you need to say to get the essence, the truth of the scene conveyed on the page, even with the foregone conclusion that the tragedy awaits our heroes. It keeps you hopeful. Tony's story reminds you almost every episode that the human spirit cannot be extinguished. That's the essence of good storytelling. We as a species have survived for millennia, living on the stories we tell about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, if the human story is not moving you, then we're not doing our job.
I love that. I love that quote.
And
that's what it essentially is. What Andor's the story is. It's moving. Like wow, this is wow. This is great stuff.
Yeah. So Andor showrunner Tony Gilroy recently confirmed that Smits had to be replaced due to scheduling issues, and credited Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy for coming up with the idea of casting Brat, which I think it's a good replacement. Like even though it's not Jimmy Smits, he looks similar enough. Like he has that Bail Organa look, just different facial structure. Mm-hmm. So I think he looks close enough to be a Bail Organa. So Andor sets the clock back 5 years from Rogue One, which we all know. So here's the image from, I think it was last night's episode in the Senate there. So yeah, I thought he did a really great job, and I think Benjamin Bratt was a good choice. What did you think?
Yeah, I think he dropped the first SH word on Star Wars, as far as I know.
Yeah,
he was when he was talking to Mon Mothma. But yeah, great acting, man. He picked up the ball and ran with it. He made it his own. In the essence of Bail Organa, of Jimmy Smits, brings into the character. The only thing is that to me, of like his heft, he doesn't have the heft, but he's got the acting chops and he's doing a phenomenal job as Bail Organa.
And like I said, like he still has that Bail Organa look. Like he just looks a little more slender than like you said. He doesn't have that.
Yeah, he doesn't carry his weight on screen like Jimmy Smits. But it's a good version.
You know what? I think it's now because we got two actresses playing Mon Mothma. We have the older actress, and then we got Genevieve O'Reilly playing her on both ends of Return of the Jedi. Like it's the same thing. It's no different than that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
but at the same time, now that opens things up. Like if they were to replace Luke Skywalker with, say, Sebastian Stan, right?
That's a nice little tie-in from my next.
Nice little segue into your story there.
Yes.
Right.
All right. So Mark Hamill wants Sebastian Stan as a new Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
Fresh story for this evening. So John, this is a little bit long of a story, but we'll just kind of like break it down into segments. So John Mania, Sebastian Stan's stunt double, has revealed that Mark Hamill wants Stan as a recasted Luke Skywalker for Star Wars Lucasfilm. He has always been wary of recasting characters, blaming Han Solo recast on Solo Star Wars story box office failure. The debate on recasting legacy characters has recently resurfaced, though, after Andor recasted character of Bail Organa due to original actor Jimmy Smits not being available. So now Sebastian Stan's stunt double has told Cantina Talk that Mark Hamill himself supports a popular recast, that Stan would be a great young Luke Skywalker. Hamill also discussed the idea with Stan, and he apparently loves the idea. Stan himself is weary of taking over while the classic actor is still in its role. As Denis explained when he asked about the idea of the recast, he says, do you know how many conversations he and I had about this? Literally, there's been a moment that I'm sure you've seen the picture of you as Luke Skywalker. He then told me, Mark and I have actually talked about this. Not anything official on Star Wars level of Star Wars, but Disney level of Star Wars. But I guess Mark Hamill has been like, he's a fantastic actor. Let's let him do it. But then Sebastian, being as awesome as he is, he's like, Mark is still doing the job. So let's scroll down a little bit further. He says, Mark Hamill wants Sebastian Stan to play. Oh, that's not where I wanted to be. So it's no surprise to hear that Nania had talked about this with Stan. This recast has been a popular one for years. We've talked about it. He said, what's exciting, though, is to hear that Mark Hamill himself is in favor of that. Hamill has supported Luke Skywalker in the past, despite returning twice for The Mandalorian Season 2 and the Book of Boba Fett through some incredible, sophisticated CGI technology. I mean, that alone could, but I think what they're talking about is like recast, like this is the new.
Yeah.
With no CGI or anything like that. But
yeah.
So it still kind of goes on, but I think for the most part, so many people are down with the idea of Sebastian Stan because he's such a good actor. But towards the end, it doesn't sound as though a recast is in the works in this time. So Nania seems to believe that Lucasfilm isn't calling. He says that's a shame, but to be fair, Stan is going to be pretty busy for a while now with the Avengers. Doomsday has begun filming. Well, this means that he probably won't have the time for Star Wars. Still, we still can have hope for Lucasfilm to make that call. So I think if they were to do recasting, I couldn't think of another actor that would.
No, and you know what? It's the same as the Bail Organa casting. Like, I'd be fine with it. It's a different actor. He has a similar enough look to Mark Hamill, right?
Yeah.
Like very similar in this case. So I'd be fine with it. And he's busy with Marvel right now, but say in like 3 years when they start maybe thinking about doing Dave Filoni's like Star Wars Endgame movie that's going to be coming out in like 2029, 2030, something like that, then he should be available, right?
Yeah, and he'll be an older actor.
A little bit older. You bring him in to play Luke Skywalker, because Luke Skywalker's got to be around when they're facing off against Thrawn, right? Yeah. And so you got to have Luke Skywalker, and I feel like that would be the cheapest option, is to bring in another actor and just recast Luke Skywalker rather than trying to do all the CGI and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me.
And Mark Hamill himself is okay with with him,
right?
And
Mark's okay, we're okay.
With some clips and some images where he's with his son, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there's so many stories that you could just tell that we don't know
lots, right?
Return of Jedi.
That's the thing. People cringed at the Mark Hamill older Luke Skywalker in the sequel trilogy, but I've always thought like this is a perfect representation of him as an older man, because like when we see him in the sequel trilogy, he's Ben Kenobi's age. He's an old hermit. So it's just like mirroring the original trilogy. So like you said, there's lots of room to play with stuff that happens between Return of the Jedi and the sequels, right?
The mastermind. Yeah. He can pull up a beautiful story of
right. Him, Luke Skywalker looking for Jedi across the galaxy, right? And training Jedi at his temple, maybe training a young Kylo Ren.
And I'm not sure if he's actually considering Mary Jade, if they're going to put her in this, and maybe that would be. We talked about this also. One of the reasons why he just kind of stepped away from the order, stepped away from everything.
Yeah,
maybe because of the passing of his wife, or who knows? But they can do something. Yeah, there's so much time that they can build some good stories.
Yeah, and I would be down for it.
Yep.
So jumping into the next story, in case everyone's curious, all of the Star Wars projects, Disney Plus announces the first 2 Star Wars shows releasing in 2026. So the Galaxy Far, Far Away is getting off to a stellar start in 2026 with the release of 2 new Star Wars shows. The first Star Wars shows for 2026 have been revealed and have 2 exciting new projects to look forward to on Disney Plus. So what Star Wars 2026 slate looks like. So the Maul Shadow Lord is expected for 2026. So Star Wars is continuing to build on its successful animation empire with the new animated series focused on Darth Maul, confirmed to be released in 2026. And it seems like they had enough done to make a trailer, so they probably have quite a bit done. So I would imagine this would come out like early 2026 if I was guessing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one after that would be the Star Wars Visions Presents the Ninth Jedi. So that's like a spin-off of the Ninth Jedi Star Wars Vision episode. So that should be cool. So that's coming out in 2026. So that's set for 2026. But the third season of Star Wars Visions is actually set to release in October 2025 here. So we're getting quite a bit of Star Wars. And then Ahsoka season 2, which they just started filming. So that they just started filming that. And with them starting filming, you would think 2026 would be a pretty good guess to have it release. Probably later though.
Yeah.
And then the Mandalorian Grogu comes out, like that's already done. So that comes out in May 2022 or May 22nd, 2026. So it kind of makes sense that Maul would come out before Mandalorian and Grogu, and then Ahsoka season 2 would come out after.
Mm-hmm.
Is my guess. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think they're. I guess they're. When you plan it out, I guess it'll work all out. Work all out. I just feel like it's gonna be forever to Ahsoka season 2 to start. I mean, to actually get it, start to watch it, because it's like you're barely filming now, and then you go through the process of editing and all that stuff. It's gonna be a long wait.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be a little bit of a wait. So yeah, I'm thinking like late 2026 for that. So like fall kind of thing. So
yeah, no, I mean the samurai the Ronin project. That's one I can't wait to see some more of his story.
Yeah, because that's supposed to be happening. I don't know when that's supposed to be coming out. I don't think we got confirmation when, but 2026 is shaping up to be a good year, though.
Yeah. Dude, 2025 is this year's.
Even 2025, yeah. The last bit of 2025.
Cool Star Wars stuff, yeah.
Right? So, good time to be a Star Wars fan.
Yes, sir. All right, so we'll go on to my second story. For Star Wars, The Last Order officially announced our first sequel to Rise of Skywalker. So we're finally learning that what happened to your favorite characters, as well as we know the sun will rise tomorrow. We know that there will be plenty more Star Wars project releasing in the near future. After all, we already know that Daisy Ridley will be reprising her role as Rey in the upcoming New Jedi Order movie. But let's talk about some of the other characters from the sequel trilogy. So we're according to some recent announcement, John Boyega, Finn, and Naomi Eckes Jannah will be returning, courtesy of the first new novel set after the events of the Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. It's been 6 years since The Rise of Skywalker left us with more questions than answered, but hopefully this upcoming release will shed some light on what's happening to Finn and Jannah after the event of the movie. Written by bestseller author Kwame Mabalia and set to be released October 21st, this upcoming novel from Penguin Random House takes place after the fall of the First Order. So, following the end of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, the Resistance rescue a ship full of young passengers who had been kidnapped by the First Order. The official synopsis reads, as Finn and Jannah set out to find the First Order officer responsible before he can engage any more children, the two former stormtroopers must wrestle with their own complicated past as soldiers in the oppressive regime. So it'll take a deep dive into the past of these characters, Finn and Jannah, and their richly drawn out action story that fans have been asking for. So the title is The Last Order. The young adult novel may not be for everyone, but it does hint at the possibility of Finn and Janna returning in a future movie. After all, whilst with the story have been commissioned. So nevertheless, we will have to wait until October this year to see what's next for the two former stormtroopers in the Last Order when it's released across all major bookstores.
Yeah.
So that'll at least get some closure. I don't know, or maybe
closure. Maybe that's what we can hope for. Because I mean, they're doing all this stuff that's set after the sequel trilogy. So like you got Starfighter that happens 5 years after. We got the Daisy Ridley, like the Charmin Obaid-Chinoy movie, and then you got the Simon Kinberg trilogy that will have Rey as like the mentor figure. So you got to think at some point Finn, at least Finn, maybe not Janna, but at least Finn shows up, and maybe he's training with Rey, or maybe they both show up. But I feel like at some point,
that's the hope, is that we
right?
get him as we get him at least training or something.
Yeah, and then like with Starfighter happening, I feel like that's a good opportunity to bring Poe Dameron back, right? In some form.
Yeah, dude, God, he's like the greatest, the greatest Starfighter past, past the original trilogy.
Have Wedge show up because like he's still around.
Yes.
Have a small cameo from Wedge.
Yep. So hopefully we'll get maybe some talks about what we're left off with Lando Calrissian trying to figure out, trying to find her past, her parents, and maybe they'll get some kind of closure of what's going on with her, so she can move on with her character, because they feel like she's kind of stuck on that question of who she is and who her parents are and things like that. So maybe they'll talk about that on in this book. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be good. But that's all the news for this evening. Let's chat a little bit more about Andor season 2, the last 3 episodes. So, like I said, best 3 so far.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But like so much happened. We revisited like straight off the bat in episode 7. We revisited Yavin, and now it's got like they're working on building the base. They got some ships there. They got camps set out in the jungle there. Crazy to see Yavin like this.
Yeah. So like we had the rebelling factions prior to that. What, it was a year before, and now they actually have something established. Feels more like feels like Gavin. It feels like we get on the original trilogy.
And we saw the one guy from Rogue One. I don't know what he was, a general or a captain or whatever.
Oh yeah. I forgot his name. Oh.
But like he showed up. He told Cassian, if you leave, without our permission, you might not be welcome back or whatever. His line was there, right? So then we saw a lot more of Gorman. We saw the Gorman massacre, which is crazy. Yeah. Like that Gorman went through 2, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, just like disgusting events like that, where like all the citizens of Gorman were killed, like 2 massacres. It's crazy.
First you get
Tarkin with the ship landing on,
and then this getting gunned down in the street, and dude, it was wild. And it was wild to see that who was behind it. It was like it was a sniper that started the whole thing.
Yeah, it was all set up by the Empire. Yeah,
shooting one of his own. That was wild. But yeah, I mean, sometimes that stuff, like, man, this is like based off of like some, seemed like real stuff. But yeah, it was real gritty, man. You felt
real
that
gritty, real dark.
Yeah.
And then the stuff with Cyril was great.
Yeah, Deidre, wow.
Yeah,
she's all in, and And that's why I thought it was going to be her that was going to, say this. Well, this ain't right, and Cyril.
No, but it was Cyril who was like having doubts. Yeah. He was like, "Yeah, this isn't." I mean, you could tell that Dedra was having she was guilty about the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Like she didn't want everyone to die like that.
But she just powered through it. I'm like, okay, well, this is what I guess I
have to do
to get what I.
Cyril was like, "Yeah, this isn't right." But then we got the confrontation after all this time, after season 1, we got Cassian versus Cyril.
He's like, okay, I'm not okay with what's going on with the Empire, but I remember you.
I gotta finish.
I'm gonna take you out.
Finish this off. Yeah, I gotta finish this off. I've been hunting you for so long. I gotta finish this off. And unfortunately, Cyril met his demise.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Oh yeah, he just. Crazy. I thought that was a pretty cheap shot though by the the other guy, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. So many Gormans died. It seemed like I can't remember what the numbers they said, but it was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was pretty cool how they had the KX droids or
the KX droids, KX droids,
yeah, security droids. Wow, they had them all in the room, just like not yet until they put the order out there to go finish this off. Dude, how menacing they were.
Yeah, and they're strong.
Yeah, that was like.
You see them they kicked that barricade and the barricade went flying into that guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
eventually leads into Cassian taking the one damaged droid back to Yavin, and then you and I discussed it. You thought it was going to be B2 EMO getting his essence or his programming or whatever transferred into that body. I was like, no, it doesn't seem like it. But
you're right.
The one thing you and I agreed on, it had to happen this story arc for them to have that bond.
Yeah,
we see in Rogue One, because that's not just a year of working together. That's at least 2 years. So they gave us that at the end of the last episode, right at the very end. So when we go jump ahead a year, they're forming that bond. They're working together a little bit, right? So yeah.
No,
I enjoyed seeing that.
To bond with somebody that close, you have to have some of that time. That's why I thought, I was like, well, it's got to be in this series. I thought it was going to be more towards the middle of episode.
That's what I thought too.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it towards the end.
I'm happy they did it.
It made sense where they put it, because it's at the end of this whole battle when they finally let these droids out.
And it happens at the perfect time. Bix decided to go off on her own and actually start fighting for the rebellion, but she couldn't do that when she was with Cassian, because Cassian wanted to give up the fight for Bix.
Yeah.
So Bix is now gone. Maybe we'll see her next episode. Who knows? But Cassian loses one companion and then gains the second companion now, right? With K2SO, right? So it's kind of worked out well that way.
Yeah, but I thought that's kind of messed up how you left B2MO. You just deserted him.
Yeah, where is B2EMO then?
No,
where's he hanging out? I don't even know if we saw. Did we see him last week when they were on Coruscant? When they were in the safe house?
I don't think I've seen him.
I don't think we saw him since the first week.
Yeah.
What happened to B2?
Yeah, I know. I hope not anything bad, but hopefully we get him in some other project and he's just rolling around somewhere. You just see him in the background, like we saw on Rogue One. We saw Chopper just rolling in the background.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see him again.
And then episode 9, all the stuff in the Senate, the speech that Mon Mothma gave, that was incredible.
Yeah,
The whole setup from Bail Organa, right? And the espionage, and how much they were they knew she was giving this speech. They knew kind of like the Empire knew which way she was kind of like what she was planning to say. So they're like, you know what, we're taking her out after she does her speech.
Yeah,
we're gonna have two people take her, and that's it. We're gonna have her executed, which is crazy. So
yeah, this was a powerful.
That just goes to show, like you stand up against the Empire, you know, you're not gonna make it.
No.
Like it.
Yeah, but
we got no problem killing senators. Like they took away the senator of Gorman, right? When he after the massacre, they took him away. So I'd imagine he's probably dead.
Yeah, we didn't. Oh, and the when the was it the
the driver, her driver,
yeah. They said that they haven't found him. I kind of like overheard like them talking about, they brought it up in a conversation. He's like, didn't find him.
Yeah,
like he's like missing or something like that. I was like, yeah, he's goner.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
overall. So yes, so great.
Yeah, but so we're kind of left off at we're gonna have that time jump again. K2SO now, his companion, the rebellion. It's going to be right in the mix of the rebellion. So
So you would think we would see more Saw Gerrera possibly next week.
We should get more Saw Gerrera, his dynamic and his point of view, and then the more subtle, I guess, subtleties of the rebellion. You have the extremists of Saw Gerrera. That should come into play. We may get some of that confrontation of where Saul wants to go with this and where the rebels want to go with this. But
maybe we see Bail Organa leaving the Senate and going to Yavin as well.
Yeah. So we should get that in those coming episodes. So next 3 episodes. So
I think the only footage from the trailer is that we haven't seen is like that shot of Cassian walking with the jacket in through the Yavin base outside.
Oh yeah. That wasn't. Yeah, that had nothing to do with the first episode because Yeah, you're right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we haven't seen that clip yet. So, should be interesting. I think you mentioned earlier or before we started the live stream that each week it got better and better. Like it progressed. Like week 1 was kind of like a slow burn. It was a little bit slow with the wedding and stuff. The next week it picked up a little bit more. This week it picked up incredibly more. So I think like the last 3 episodes are just going to be like full on like. Take it to 11, adrenaline, pumping, all that stuff. There we go. 1 in the chat. What's up, seriously, Star Wars and Fire Speed Review. Fire Speed Review.
What's up, Juan? How's it going, man?
What's up?
Hope you're having a good evening.
Thanks for hopping in the chat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So how would you rate it? Just
like this story arc, or like the as a whole?
Yeah, this 3 episodes in all.
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 for me.
10, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was last week's was a little bit,
Yeah, I would say last week was like an 8.
Yeah.
Still
this
good.
Was definitely 10. Now, if they were this is a 3. Wow.
3. Wow.
Or does it mean 3 out of 5?
Yeah, but it was 3 out of 5.
It was really intense, man.
Oh yeah. And so much happened too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cassian's line to Mon Mothma when they're escaping too, like. She's like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do this." He's like, "Welcome to the rebellion."
Yeah. We should see some more intense scenes. But I thought this the Gorman what happened in Gorman just
keeping the list theme with the 3.
Yeah. I don't know where they're gonna go with this next week. I mean, if this was this intense,
it's gonna be crazy.
So we should see more like bombings and espionage by the part of the rebellion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe through Saw Gerrera. Maybe we'll see some action with Saw Gerrera and their group.
What do you think? Do you think we see any cameos like say Harrison Dula, any of the Ghost crew?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think he's gonna. Well, he did put in Chopper in Rogue One.
Yeah, and the Ghost.
So it's a possibility.
I mean they're around. They're part of one of the rebel factions, right? So
yeah, who knows?
It's a possibility, right?
Yeah.
Or what if they bring in someone to play Leia? Like we haven't gotten a Leia cameo in a while.
The
last one was in Rogue One. Right?
And they did mention, was it in Rogue One, Syndulla? Captain Syndulla?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Hera mentioned her.
Yeah. So, who knows? Who knows if we actually do get him? That's a really good question.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to discuss was like the actress playing Clea, Luthen's assistant.
Okay.
Right? Because I
didn't know her.
Hell of a job.
Yeah, she's a really good actress.
Yeah.
I mean, they picked like the best for all these actors are really good, man.
Yeah.
And what would happen to her?
I don't know.
Is she in Rogue One? If she's not in Rogue One.
No, she's not in Rogue One. Luthen's not. So like,
is she behind the scenes though? They're not going to see all these in Rogue One.
No.
But does she die in the last?
I think Luthen dies. Like especially if he stays on Coruscant.
I think he's down to die for the cause.
Yeah, he'll probably sacrifice himself or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see Cassian and K2 together again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that'll be good.
This is a joy, man. This show is so good, man.
Yeah, so good.
So we'll see what the last 3 episodes of.
I know it's sad because they're doing this 3 episodes a night. Like we blasted through it 4 weeks, right? And it's done. So that's the only unfortunate thing.
Yeah, maybe they'll just do 1 episode and for the last 3, 1 episode a week. I'll be okay with that. Just draw it out a little bit more.
Yeah, or if they did like a theatrical release for the last 3 episodes.
Oh, dude, that'd be
awesome. Cool.
Yeah,
but I mean, they haven't announced anything yet, so I doubt it.
I kind of heard something about, but not.
I heard like rumors,
3 episodes
and rumblings.
Yeah.
But nothing's been confirmed yet, right? Nothing's been confirmed, so we'll have to wait and see. But I think that does it for this episode of Rebel Rewind.
Got 8 people watching. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate everyone watching, everyone in the chat. We appreciate you guys very much. We'll let us know what you think of all the articles, all the news we covered this episode, and what are you thinking of Andor as well? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see everyone in the next episode.